Well, igama lami is Zesizwe Ngubane. Apparently, I should add a doctor to that. My current role at duty is that I'm an acting HOD in the civil engineering department in Midlands. By the way, the Midlands part is important so that you don't confuse with someone else. I come from a rural area, Goswaimane, Impact. Well, I don't think as a child you understand or your role or what you want to do in terms of the career path as you would as an adult. But looking back at it now, I would say growing up in a rural area, seeing the gaps in like water supplies, etc., and then you find out that there's something called engineering that you could actually pursue to sort of better everybody else's lives. I think that is what I would say inspired me as a growing child. I don't think a person can actually, especially that last part, something you are proud of. But I can say that whilst I was doing my masters, I had a turning point. I did my masters in what needed a lot of data, and I was able to get some of it, but not of it. And I think understanding and getting to know that there are so many gaps in what we need in life. I think that was a defining moment for me, because then you know that those gaps need to be filled in some way, and there's a lot of work that needs to go towards that. So my research sort of tries to bridge those gaps, and I can say that I'm maybe proud of that realization as well, because I think it will help a lot of people in understanding the environment as well as we should, especially for the infrastructure. Yeah, being a woman in our field means you are a drop in the ocean, because there are so many men around us and they understand the world in their view. So trying to change their view, trying to stamp your place in the environment that you are in is not so easy. And I can tell you that you get undermined a lot. You get, you find yourself invisible in the room sometimes. For me, those are some of the challenges that many women face, because there's not many people around you who are like-minded, and I don't mean like-minded in an academic way. I just mean being a human being in the space itself. So, and now navigating that it can be challenging because you sometimes you feel like I must be the loudest voice for me to be heard, but then that doesn't help, because then you look like you're throwing tantrums. You're trying to be something that you're not. Sometimes it helps to be grounded in who you are and your opinions, like believe in what you believe in and be able to articulate it in the most calm way that you can, because trying to be louder doesn't equate being heard. And sometimes you just need to be straight to the point, be grounded in who you are, and be able to drive your point across. Man, girls are doing it. And I am so proud even when I see the girls in our S1. Girls are doing it. Girls are owning the space. Girls are innovative. Girls are researching. Girls are finding their place. And I've seen even in leadership. I mean, look at our SciC student chapter. The women taking the leadership roles there. They even take that to the industry with them. And I am so proud to see how well we are owning the space now. And I mean, this that I was saying, that you shouldn't be the loudest voice, but you should be the most impactful as far as you can. And I see girls doing that. So for me, girls are owning the space. Trust your voice. I think because of what we experience every day, we then sort of want to go back into our shells and be shy about it. Trust your voice. Trust that also it's not going to be the best voice in the room sometimes, and that's okay. Build a wall around you of people that you trust. So have a support system. Be part of a support system as well. I think supporting other people helps you understand how to navigate the space as well. And it also helps you build that support system that you need around yourself. So that would be, I think, my advice to the young women building themselves in engineering and the built environment. Mentorship is very important. You need to understand how to navigate the ground, and to do that you need someone who's already walked it. So getting that advice, getting someone who opens up spaces for you helps a lot. And yes, there are quite a few people who opened up the space for me, both women and men. And I think that's what I'm super proud of, that if I were to list names here, I'll be listing both female and males who have helped me navigate the space and get to where I am, that are still part of my support system, that are still people that I run to. So mentorship is very important, and this is why for me as well, if I get my opportunities to mentor someone, I take them seriously, because I know that it helps you feel comfortable in the space, knowing that someone else is looking at what you're doing and helping, guiding you as well in the space. So it's quite important. So I'm a water person, so I'm in water engineering specifically, and I am very passionate about that because of what's happening with our water right now. You can see the rivers are what they are. And my role, as I see it in this research, is to be able to bridge, because there's this large gap, it's very big, between academic work that we do and the communities that need to receive this. So bridging that gap of social justice is where my research is focusing right now. So how do we bring our communities into policies, them understanding the policies, influencing the policies as well, because we can speak on top of the mountain and shout as much as we like, but if people don't understand what it is that we are saying, it will never get done. And we could write the best research that will not go anywhere if the people are not understanding it. So that social justice, that design thinking that we need, that impacts the societies in hydrology, in water engineering, that's what I'm passionate about these days. We are participating. We are participating, we are leading, and I feel that having these female voices in the space is helping to sort of cut across certain barriers that existed before. And I think we are gaining our confidence in participation. And I feel that women are really, I think we are comfortable in the space now. So, yeah. The barriers are both systemic and cultural. So if you look at how culturally women are supposed to be at home, know that that somehow translates to how women are perceived in the working environment as well. So breaking those barriers is something that is going to take us a while, but we need them broken. Because let me make an example. You are a mom. And you are a leader as well. Those roles, both of them, are executive roles. To balance the two, you need a support system. You need there's a certain level of understanding in the system that needs to exist. And to break those is going to take a while, because sometimes you feel like if I say I need to rush home because my daughter is acting somehow, you're gonna feel like you want to be preferred in the system, which is not true. That is a need as well in life. So how you balance the two still matters in the system, and the system needs to allow that in some way. I'm not wanting to say that women should get, preference, but that equity in terms of how we are viewed, in terms of performance as well, needs to come into play. I'm not trying to give a solution because I don't have one myself, but I think this is where, some of the DUT values actually matter there. Empathy, understanding that I may need to break a certain rule to fix a certain specific thing. I may need to not act as well as my male counterpart is, because there's a barrier for me. Look at things like a long meeting, for instance. Which is essential in executives. You need to sit there, you need to deliberate on important issues. How do we factor in that a woman might need to go and do certain things that are womanly within certain times in a day? Like every 2 hours, you need to step out. There's a clip that I saw where a woman, well, of course, this is not real, but someone has experienced that for sure. But there's a clip that I saw where a woman was quoting that she's always late because female bathrooms are far. So she has to start there. And when she comes back to her desk, she also still needs to, whenever she needs the bathroom, she needs to run across. I mean, this is not a case here at DUT specifically, but this is, something small that a male may not have understood because, I mean, why are you late? But that exists. So such barriers exist, and we need people to be able to see them for us to be able to break them as well. I know that we talk about entrepreneurship a lot, that sometimes other people are like, there we come, here we go. But that bridge between the hard work that we do and entrepreneurship and innovation, being able to design things that are tangible, that also matter to the people that we are designing for. That's exciting for me. And I'm even more excited imparting that onto my students in class, where we take something hard as designing a wastewater treatment plant, for instance, and we look at how we can then be innovative in the spaces that we are, and use that same technology to treat the water elsewhere. And for me, that's like quite exciting. And I am hoping that more of us grab that, because I feel that innovation is what we need right now, and it's going to be what we need for a while. Support system, I think that's the most important thing, because whilst you may think you can do it all, it's not possible. But also it's important to stay connected to your reasons. Why am I doing this? Why did I even come into this space? Staying connected and true to that also helps you maintain that balance, because then you are able to prioritize and you are able to call yourself to order, to say, okay, sit down now, you don't have to, you can delegate this, etc. I think taking care of yourself matters a lot, and that's something that we possibly normally miss. So being able to pause and restore at the right time, it helps you keep that momentum as well. So I don't have a quote, but something that's been very interesting for me, that's been happening in the space, that I'm finding very inspirational, is seeing the history of the women that come before us, what they did, what they sacrificed for us to be where we are. Knowing that my grandmother could not have sat here and done what I'm doing now, and I'm able to do it. Knowing that there are women in what we call in the struggle these days that fought for my rights as a woman to be where I am, I don't take that for granted. So I think we should always be able to look back at where we are coming from for us to know how far we need to go forward. Always creating space for each other. I think that's like super important to me, that women are always able to support each other, help each other grow. That sisterhood, I find it very important. So yeah, that will be what I can share on my side for Women's Month.